I'm feeling so light, hearing the angelic sounds of our ancestors singing through the night for the SupraNova Body. Listen to the realms of beyond, sacred wisdom healing my mind. Chakras align when I listen to SupraNova Day. It's more than a podcast, it's a whole vibe. Expanding consciousness as you shift your mind. Tune into the SupraNova Body so you can raise your vibration. Don't be afraid to make changes and create a new you. It's more than a podcast, it's a whole vibe. Expanding consciousness as you shift your mind. SupraNova Body, a cosmic party. New way of life, it's a SupraNova Body.
Okay, welcome to SupraNova Body Podcast. I am your host, Simone Michelle, and this is episode 4. And you guessed it, we're still talking about codependency. However, this time we're talking about it in relation to friendships. Yeah, I know. It gets weird sometimes. Our best friends sometimes can be the closest person to us, okay? You just can't imagine it not being healthy or it not being balanced because this person knows everything and they ain't going nowhere, okay? But sometimes they do. And sometimes it can be unhealthy. So let's dig in. Let's talk about it. And again, I took notes. I'm going to be relying on them because that keeps me organized. My brain needs it, keeps me on track because I can get sidetracked quite easily. All right. So this is when I'm jumping right in because this is the fourth episode now about codependency. We're well on our way with understanding what it is and how it manifests in our life. So we're moving on. All right. So excessive reliance. This can look like one or both friends excessively relying on the other for emotional validation, identity, or problem solving, rather than fostering individual strength and self-reliance. Yeah. So what this can look like is one person being the fixer and one person being in need of fixing, right? So you have the friend that is a mess, right? You see it in movies all the time. They are just absolutely always just chaos, drama. There's always something going on in their life. There's their relationships suck. They have no stability. Everything is just all over the place. And then they're paired with a best friend that has it all together. Absolutely all together. Just completely killing it. Wonderful relationship, amazing kids, fantastic. And you're wondering, why are these people friends? Well, because one is getting something from the other and the other is getting something from them. So, what that can look like is the friend that has it all together constantly making decisions for the best friend, constantly trying to fix their life, constantly trying to come to the rescue and be the savior and be the person that really, gets it together, okay? Gets them together and helps their life get back on track. And you're probably wondering, why would someone need to do that? Well, because people appreciate the ego boost that it gives, right? So if we really are honest with ourselves, what we'll see is that in some situations if we can solve a problem, if we can make something right that wasn't going right, if we can help direct somebody in the right direction. I'm looking at you, therapists and other helpers in the helping professions across the world, and social workers, and all of the people, holistic practitioners, and everyone like myself, the healers. Um, you can use that as your motivation for life, right? And use that as the way that you get fed is off helping other people, fixing their stuff, being the savior, when really you're just designed to assist people along their own journey that they are in charge of. They have autonomy, they have the capacity to choose what they want to do and what they don't want to do, choose to take your advice or not. And it says nothing about you and everything about their autonomy and choice to make that decision. Yes. We'll talk about that some other day, though. We're going to stay focused on codependency in friendships. All right. So there could be blurred boundaries, lack of clear separation between friends, individual lives, emotions, and responsibilities. One friend might feel responsible for the other's happiness or distress, leading to enmeshment. If my bestie's down, then I'm down. If my bestie's up, then we up. That whole concept doesn't allow for you to have balance where my bestie's down, but I'm up, so we're going to work it out together. My bestie is up, but I'm down, so we're going to work it out together. Like where there's reciprocity and where there is a separation that, maybe I don't got it today. I have to say, one of my friends taught me the best tool to use in friendships that I use in all of my friendships, which is simply asking, do you have the capacity today? Because some days we don't got it. And that doesn't mean that you don't love that person. It doesn't mean that they are any less important to you. It just simply means that today just ain't it. Um, and that's okay in friendships. That's okay in life. It's okay that we aren't always on for everyone, even our very most important best friend. Identity through the other. So a friend may derive a sense of self or purpose, largely from the role in that person's life. This can look like, I am the helper to all of my friends. I'm the helper to my best friend. I'm the helper to everybody. And that makes me feel good. That gives me a sense of purpose. But what happens if nobody needs your help? Are you going to try to create issues where there are none? Or are you just going to reside in the fact that that is not your role 100% of the time in a friendship? It's okay to do other stuff. Let's see. Which I had to learn. I just want to put that out there. I had to learn this. This was necessary for there always to be a reason to be needed. Like, we could just laugh. We don't got to do all that. Like, we don't have to do the serious stuff. And I recognize in the relationships where people just use me for that because of my profession. Okay, okay, girl, that's fine. But, that's what it always will be. And that's fine. Again, we have 3 levels of friendships. One that may never be able to give to you what you give to them in the same way, but the energy is definitely the same and comparable. One where you will always be able to feed each other, and one where you're fed in a way where you can never repay them, but the energy that you give them is important. Okay. Difficulty saying no or one-sided giving. One-sided giving could look like your friend don't never got it. Okay? They don't never got it, never offer, never whatever, but they always seem to stay in something nice or very taken care of because they use their money on themselves. But your money is also for them. That could really suck, right? Um, Again, money isn't everything, and sometimes that's all a person has to give. But if it looks like they're just not giving money to you and you see them giving money to other people, that's one-sided giving. Yeah. And that could also be a sign of codependency. Because why? Does it feel good for you to pay for somebody? Does it feel good to have somebody pay for you? Like, what is happening here to where this dynamic has to stay this way and it's not changing? Again, saying no. Now, what if you don't got it and you're just like, I'm not paying today. Is it a problem? Are they going to offer? Or is it just going to stay one-sided? Or if you do say no, do they give you a sense of guilt or obligation? Like, you always do it though. Like, why? Or will they give you the silent treatment if you don't do what they want you to do? Or do you do this to them? You know, look at yourself, because this ain't all, like I said, codependent relationships. Everybody has a role, and both people are right and both people are wrong. Two things are happening at the same time. So, what is happening? Why? What is the motivation behind how you give, how you receive? Who does the giving? Who does the receiving? What's the reason? If someone says no, how does that make you feel? If someone says they don't have time, how does that make you feel? What's really happening beneath the waves? Is everybody really narcissistic, or are people just codependent and don't have boundaries? Which one could it be? I vote codependency. All right. A lack of independent interest. Oh my gosh. Okay, so this could look like friends that have to agree on everything. And if they don't agree, then it's a problem. Like, okay, we're unequally yoked. Well, no, that's not what that means, first of all. And you don't have to agree on everything. Me and my very best friends, I have two, a girl and a boy, we don't agree on everything at all. But we agree on things that matter to us. And it's nice that we share interests, but we don't always agree on stuff. And some stuff I'm into, my female best friend absolutely is not. My male best friend is. Some stuff that he's into, I am not. And that's okay. That's us. We have their own identity and our own interests that are not always going to align with each other. But at the end of the day, our core values do. And we respect each other's boundaries even when we don't agree. And that is why they are my very best friends. Very, very best. The greatest people ever in life. Period. Like ever. But I had to learn. Yes, these people have been in my life for almost 20 years. And I think Bill's been in my life longer than 20 years. Malaysia has been in my life for like 18, 19, 18 years. 18 years, sorry. And yeah, we weren't best friends from day one. Our friendships grew over time and through us teaching each other how to be good friends to each other and how to be good people, period. When we were codependent, when we were nasty, when we were extremely bound by our trauma, when we weren't able to see the future that we have now. So there is hope. And in those two relationships, I find a lot of peace because of all of the work we put in to have a healthy friendship that is not rooted in codependency. If I don't answer, it's not the end of the world. If I hang out with somebody else, it's not the end of the world. If I am not responsive and in a low moment, it has nothing to do with my best friend, nothing to do with their capabilities to help me out. They don't take it personal. They understand that I am where I am, and that's my situation with God. That's okay. That's all right. Seeking constant validation, that can look like, am I cute? Is this cute? Am I pretty? Am I a good person? Am I whatever? That's not to be confused with providing unsolicited validation because you really want that person to know that they're important to you. But it could look like kind of a manipulative way of fishing for compliments, like, oh, I'm so fat. Girl, you are a little fat today. You are, but you look good, you look fantastic. Um, just in different ways instead of being very direct. All right. Controlling behavior, like not being able to go other places because your best friend is going to be jealous. They don't want you with other people. They don't like anybody else in your life. All of those things are red flags, and it's not cute. I know. I think the culture kind of teaches us that it's cute to have best friends that are possessive or don't like you being around other people, but it's really a sign that something is imbalanced or off. If you aren't able to see people that are close to you out living a life independently from you, that could be a sign of enmeshment, as well as a sign of jealousy and possession and controlling tendencies that usually are deeply rooted in codependency and self esteem issues and awareness, uh, blind spots. Um, Difficulty with conflict. I I always think that you aren't really friends with somebody until y'all don't get along for real, and it can challenge the nature of your relationship, um, and if that relationship is going to survive or not. Can you not talk and come back together? Can you not agree so much that it's just like, yeah, I need some time? What does that look like? Can you have conflict and have difficult conversations about what is and what is not? Um, what do you think about that? How does that make you feel? How does it make you feel to think about your relationships, your closest friendships, and the conflicts that you have had or have not had? Have they been pretty? Have they been all out assaults on each other's character? Or have they just been disagreements where you just don't agree and agree to disagree? What does that look like? I think that can definitely tell you the status of your relationship more than anything, is how you both handle conflict with one another. Or if it's a group of y'all, how do y'all handle conflict with one another? Do y'all say the hard things? Do you tell each other if your breath is kind of kicking? Do you tell each other if, girl, that ain't the right outfit? Coming from a place of, let's find the right outfit so that you can be confident? Or is it coming from a place like, that ain't the right outfit and stay in that outfit so I can feel superior? Like, what is really happening? I think being in intimate relationships with people requires us to have a really clear understanding of what is happening beneath the surface, because things can always look really good on top of it. But what was your motivation for why you said what you said? Do you think that they had a motivation for why they said what they said? And are you okay to ask what that motivation was? Like, why'd you say that? Like, what were you really trying to achieve by saying that? Because, yeah, no, I didn't like that. Like, that wasn't, yeah, no, how I took that was definitely wrong. And maybe they really didn't mean it at all that way. Are you open to receiving their perception? Or are you just, like, all of these things are important to consider. And, um, okay. So, as in the other two dynamics that we already discussed in previous episodes, there's a giver and there's a taker, and it is very distinct within friendships. Typically, more in my, this is my opinion. I haven't researched any studies on the giver and the taker in regards to friendships. However, in my observation, just of the relationships that I've had or observed with clients or whoever, there's usually very firm giver and taker dynamics. And when one is disturbed, the relationship typically ends. So let's say there is a giver for a long period of time, and then they become a taker. Their friend now has become a millionaire. They're doing really well off. They no longer are needed in that dynamic, and they're now in the position of being a receiver. Most of the time, they pull away. They feel like, I don't know. I don't I don't really feel like you're the same anymore. You've changed. Or the person that has done better with their life and made better decisions and really achieved all of the things that they sought out to achieve, they may no longer have a need for that relationship and be like, you know what? I mean, like, I'm good now. I'm good. And our relationship really, it didn't make me feel good. So I'm out. And the giver could feel all kind of ways and whatever, this situation. I'm just giving you different ways to see what I'm trying to say. But you get it good. Now I'm going to scroll because I've got more notes and we're not doing a part 2. Okay? All right. And my nose is like, it's running a little bit, it's because it's hot. It's hot in here and we're going to carry on. Okay. All right. Okay, so there can be two things that end up resulting: burnout and stifled growth. So let's say that billionaire never became, well, it was a millionaire in the example, but let's say that millionaire never turned their life around, and they constantly relied on their best friend to bail them out. This is easily seen in situations where you have a friend that may be on drugs. Like, let's just be real about it, because codependent relationships usually involve that, some kind of dependency. It could just be like your friend smokes a lot of weed, right? That's still, dependency on a substance. They smoke a lot, they smoke pounds, and they are addicted. And if they don't have it, they have mood swings. So you really hate dealing with them when they have mood swings. So you always spot them 20s, 10s, whatever, 30s, 40s, 50s here, whatever they needed, just so that they stay even killed, because you're a good friend. Really, that creates dependency, and it could lead to you feeling like, dang, I didn't looked out for you, and I bought hotels when you needed hotels. I didn't make sure that you went to rehab 15 times. You ain't trying to do it. I didn't spend $10,000 on you, bro. You not changing course. That could lead to burnout. It could lead to you feeling like, this is pointless. This is pointless, and I'm failing at life. I'm failing at being a friend. I'm failing at making a difference in their life. And yeah. Okay. Developing self-awareness can help. Establishing clear boundaries can help. Breaking free and fasting from your friendship to figure out if this is healthy or not can help. Limiting contact for a while you kind of cipher through what's happening can help. All of these things can help you begin to be aware of the position and role that you're playing in your relationship. If any of this is feeling like, yeah, no, I see this and I see myself in either position, neither person walks away unscathed, right? Both people in the situation miss out. One misses out on growing and developing. The other misses out on growing internally, right? Having a deeper connection with themselves and a deeper sense of love for themselves. Both people are missing out on something that they could get in a healthy, balanced dynamic where both people are reciprocally benefiting from their interaction, and everything isn't based on opportunity. All right. Communicate openly. I think that communication is the foundation of every healthy relationship, especially a friendship. Your best friend shouldn't be the only person that knows everything about you. Well, except for your partner or whatever, but a lot of people don't need to know that. But what I was meant to say, because I scratched that completely, is that your best friend shouldn't be the only person you know how to communicate with. Okay, communication is a foundation of a lot, but sometimes our best friends are the only person we can authentically, honestly communicate with. And what I want you to consider is communicating with everyone as if they were your best friend, not with the personal trauma dumping stuff, but with just how honestly you can openly communicate. Like, I don't really like that. Try it with your boss. Like, I don't. That's not going to really work for me, because I get off at 5, and you're asking me to do something that will require me to stay till 6, and unless I'm getting paid for this additional time, I'm gonna have to decline. If your best friend was telling you, come over and you're tired, I'm gonna have to decline, best friend. I love you. We could talk, but I'm gonna go to sleep. I'm tired. It's okay to communicate with people in a healthy, honest, open way that is not degrading or belittling, but very honest and transparent. Like, no, I don't owe you an explanation. It's a no. It's a no for me, for sure. I don't know anything after that. But if I choose to give you an explanation, that's my prerogative. All right. Um, Again, like self-care is like really important. I cannot emphasize enough how important it is to check in with you and see where you're at and see if you've reached your capacity or your max or your limit so that you avoid burnout. Burnout is the danger zone, right? And I operated right here for so long because I didn't know how to like rearrange my capacity back here so that when I got up here, I'd know, okay, it's time to pull back. Or when I got right here, I realized, okay, I'm approaching the danger zone. So let me pull back and stay in the safety zone right here, which is the safe place where you want to stay. If we're not checking in with ourselves and practicing self-care, how are we going to know anything? How are we going to know when we need to just maybe not go out? How are we going to know when it's time to just be still? It's time to really connect with God, with the divine, with whomever you believe. It's time to really just get in whatever you read, your word, your Quran, your whatever, Bhagavad Gita, whatever it is. When is it time for you to really tune into your practice and really connect? If we are taking time out for ourselves to pour that love back in, our cup is on empty and we're trying to pour dust, and it will not benefit anybody. It just won't. Not your best friend, not your partner, not your kids, not your parents. Nobody. Self-care and taking care of yourself is the least selfish thing you could do. Because when you are at your best, everyone else benefits. Everyone. And when you have so many people surrounding you that are healthy and doing their own thing and not deeply rooted and invested in what you got going on a personal, egotistical level, you get to do so much more with your life. You get to experience life in a way that really feels good, that really feels purposeful, respectful, and free from resentment. So, like always, if you want help on your journey to either correct relationships that you have, even friendships, friends can go to therapy together or be life coach together or separate, whatever. If you would like assistance along your journey, I am here to support and help. So you can go to SupraNovaBody.com, schedule a consultation, and I will be more than happy to help you along your journey. We can create goals collaboratively together and begin to change life as it is. Thank you again for coming and listening to Codependency episode 4. We're done with codependency. Next episode, we're not talking about this. We're talking about something else. So I hope you come back and listen. And I hope that you got something from today and that it benefited you. And I hope that you have a wonderful, whatever it is, day, night, weekend, train ride, car ride. I don't know what you're doing with your life, but thank you for being here and have a good